Hi, so this is an AstroQueen Astrology report about the Capricorn full moon that happened on July 1st, 2015. It's about karmic disagreements. It looks like this full moon is what's classified as a Hades full moon. So what happens is it stimulates intense yet steady and powerful emotions, which stimulate intense and powerful situations and experiences in our lives. With this full moon, it has kind of like a crisis, evolutionary rebirth energy to it. It's deeply and psychologically transformational, especially by way of our emotions, our feelings, the public at large, families, important women in our lives, and our mothers. With this energy, emotions and feelings may feel heightened, a little more revved up, intense, and powerful. This is likely to make people more emotional overall, and also a little more sensitive than usual. So people are likely to respond a little more intensely than they might normally, or a little bit of an overreaction or something like that. Or you might even get like a scorpion-like attack from somebody that you weren't expecting. With these powerful emotions, it can make people irrational, hot-headed, jealous. It can also make people do things they wouldn't normally do, or do things they'll likely end up regretting later. Some of these stresses are likely to be a result of finances, likely a lack thereof, or money could be delayed, or sources of money could go through changes, or some people just, like I said, there's a huge jealousy thing, so people will be jealous about what money you're getting and why aren't they getting it and why are they getting this attention or whatever. And so you're likely to experience a power struggle over joint finances or resources or something like that with somebody, especially other family members. With this influence, people tend to fixate and obsess about others. They may even try to dominate and obsess or oppress them even. In some cases, this could result in almost any form of abuse, whether it be mental, psychological, verbal, physical, domestic, sexual, elder, even financial abuse. It can seem like there's an attack on our emotional well-being with this energy, and it's completely possible. You could be under attack with this energy. Some people may not even realize they're being as cruel as they are. This energy tends to bring powerful emotions and feelings to the surface because they're meant to be dealt with in one way or another. It could also bring negative influences. So if somebody's been difficult or hard on you all this time, maybe this energy will bring it to the surface in such a way that you can't deny it, they can't deny it, no one can deny it anymore. It is plain as day. Everyone can see that this is crossing the line. So that's what it does. This energy brings corruption to the surface. So we're seeing corruption being brought to the surface in many ways, whether it be with the police or the government or anything. We're seeing it loud and clear. The universe doesn't want us to miss it. It's important to release, if you are experiencing intense emotions, it's very important that you release them in a healthy fashion, that you don't try and pretend that you're not hurt when you are hurt, or that you're not a victim when you do feel like a victim. It's not great to go around and act like, oh, I'm the victim, but you also don't want to deny the point that you're at. You want to admit, okay, this is where I am. How do I move forward from here? Where are the solutions from here? If you can't admit where you are, you're not going to have any chance of knowing or being able to direct yourself going forward in the future. If you aren't able to admit where you are, then and you resist admitting that, you resist your emotions, you resist how you're feeling, and you suppress it, then it's likely to come out in some negative ways that you may even end up being surprised at the things that you do, the things that you say. to others. It can come out in very controlling and manipulative ways. Um, and with that being said, there's likely to be a fair number of bullies on the attack with this influence. The only thing you can do if you are experiencing bullies is to shine a loving light on this behavior. If someone is being a bully, it's likely because they're also being hit with something that you may or may not know about, and they're hurting inside. They don't know how to handle it, and they're taking it out on you. They can't handle the intense emotions or the experiences and situations that the stars are putting them through at the moment. This energy being so organized, it can bring a lot of gifts. You can excel in great ways. It's great for making advances with work, but it can also hold you back with work if you are using it in a negative way. This energy is kind of like having a toxic party. It's kind of like 3 violent, alcoholic, emotionally manipulative serial killers are all partying it up at an open bar. The only thing that we have going for us is that Jupiter and Venus has everybody in a relatively good mood, for the most part. The combination of Mars and Pluto being so closely aligned in this full moon can create a volatile and combustible situations. With it being so emotional, it's kind of like a time bomb waiting to go off. This has me thinking about the bomb threats that WestJet has been experiencing, as well as, and I'm just worried that one of these times it may or may not be a prank. And also, there was a bomb that detonated out west, and a woman ended up losing both her hands. This energy can also make people do some crazy things that could end up hurting a lot of people. I see that a lot of violent attacks could happen on the public at large with this energy. With the Libra eclipse this spring, it warned of bomb threats and sudden de-escalations and escalations of war, and situations where victims are just completely taken by surprise, where a single moment just changes everything. It just changes it all, where entire structures, physically, emotionally, and psychologically built, just crumble, and we are left to pick up the pieces. If this does happen, it's a sign that the original structure was faulty, and it's time to rebuild something stronger and more stable in our lives. With such events, whether such events occur or not, there's likely to be some vengeful people just looking for revenge. No matter who it affects or whose fault it is, those sitting at a lower vibration may just crave power for the sake of power at almost any cost. That can make people mean, obsessive, and destructive. And there's little to no chance of people of this vibration to own up to their negative ways. It'll all be deny. But all's not lost, as just as easily as the bully steps up to the plate, it can also make people more willing to confront their bullies and to stand up for themselves. Someone that might normally give in is suddenly more willing to fight back, and likely to take these bullies by surprise in a big way. You can see how it can easily bring matters to a real crisis point, but because this energy is so deeply transformational, these crises are likely to lead to a complete rebirth. Changes and transitions happening now are likely to have been a long time coming, and you've likely been thinking, things need to change, and then all of a sudden this energy will come around and changes start happening, whether you're ready for them or not. May or may not be pretty either. On the other hand, with this energy, the good thing is that this energy is very stable and dutiful energy, so we might be called to our responsibilities to family in some way. Some of us might take our responsibilities more seriously than others and step up to the plate. On the other hand, given that this energy is all or nothing, there could be a fair number of people that decide to run instead of facing their responsibilities, obligations, consequences, and duties to others. If we choose to run from this job, I see that this energy is likely to result in pent-up aggression and anger and conflicts and blowouts instead. Everyone that is stuck in the past is just keeping doors closed, and bringing more pain and no solutions to their situations. I see a lot of men are thinking with their emotions and not with their heads, leaving a fair number of them to likely experience a major crossroads either presently or going forward in the future one way or another. Fighting keeps the doors closed. With this energy, you need to show each other love, harmony, and cooperation in order to get through it and to open doors. The only way to get past this dark energy is to focus on the positive Venus-Jupiter oriented matters: love, harmony, generosity, appreciation, fun things, fun times, parties. And it looks like the women could not only be the focus, but also the solution to the problem. Some of them, their reaction may be more delayed than others, but it looks like they possess the wisdom to get out of this mess. It looks like nothing will be the same after this full moon. And with this energy, it's likely to make changes and force us to evolve in some way. As long as you think positive, cooperate with others, and are honest with yourself and others about what needs to change, this energy shouldn't be so difficult to deal with. For more information, please like AstroQueen Astrology on Facebook and subscribe to AstroQueen Astrology on YouTube. Thank you.